DUIs. Let's talk about the process on patrol breakdown. A vehicle drifts toward the center line. The driver corrects it. A few seconds later, it happens again. Then the vehicle turns without signaling. To most people, these might look like minor mistakes, but to a trained officer, they can be pieces of a much larger puzzle. And a DUI investigation can begin long before the emergency lights come on. Before we get started, DUI laws and procedures vary between states and every investigation is different. This video explains the general process used in the United States and is not legal advice. The investigation often starts with something most drivers never think about: the vehicle itself. An officer does not need to smell alcohol before noticing possible impairment. They are watching how the vehicle is being driven. Certain behaviors can attract attention, including difficulty maintaining a lane, unusually wide turns, and inconsistent speed. Delayed reactions, unnecessary braking, or nearly striking objects may also stand out. But one driving mistake does not automatically mean someone is impaired. People get distracted, tired, and make mistakes. Officers look at the totality of the circumstances. Eventually, an officer may observe a traffic violation or another lawful basis to initiate a stop. How's the driver behaving? Are they having difficulty locating their license? Is their speech normal? Are their eyes unusual? Is there an odor of alcohol or another substance? The officer approaches the vehicle and immediately begins taking in information. The officer may also notice open containers or other items visible inside the vehicle. Simple questions can keep the conversation going while the officer continues observing. Have you had anything to drink tonight? Where are you coming from? Where are you headed? Again, none of these observations necessarily proves impairment by itself. If reasonable suspicion develops, the investigation may continue outside the vehicle. The officer may notice how the driver exits, whether they maintain balance, and how they walk. The officer may also evaluate whether the driver can understand and follow instructions. That is why officers are trained to consider multiple observations rather than relying on a single behavior. Then comes one of the most recognizable parts of a DUI investigation. In many DUI investigations, officers use standardized field sobriety tests. The three commonly recognized standardized tests are horizontal gaze, Nystagmus, the walk-and turn, and the one-leg stand. These are not simply tests of whether someone can walk a straight line. They are structured evaluations in which officers look for specific observations and clues. Horizontal gaze Nystagmus involves observing the eyes for particular characteristics while they follow a stimulus. During the walk-and turn, the officer may evaluate whether the person maintains the instructed position and follows directions. They also observe heel-to-toe steps, the turn, and whether the required number of steps is completed. The one-leg stand evaluates a combination of divided attention and physical performance. The officer observes balance, counting, and the ability to follow the instructions. One misstep does not determine the outcome. The officer considers the entire performance. The point is to collect more information and consider all of the observations together. Now put everything together. Imagine poor lane control, an odor of alcohol, difficulty retrieving a license, admissions of drinking, and multiple SFST observations. No single fact necessarily tells the whole story. Together, the observations may establish probable cause to believe the driver is impaired. If probable cause exists and an arrest is made, the investigation may continue. Depending on the jurisdiction and circumstances, additional testing may follow. Testing can involve breath, blood, urine, or another legally authorized method. Procedures vary considerably between states, and a DUI does not necessarily involve alcohol. Impairment can involve illegal drugs, prescription medications, or other substances that affect safe driving. Drug-impaired driving investigations can look different from alcohol-related investigations. Subscribe to Patrol Breakdown. Next, we will explain how police detect drug-impaired drivers when the breath test is 0.00.